All right, hello and welcome back to Answering Atheism. We are on episode 21, Blackjack. Episode 21. This time around, it's going to be rather short because there's not much meat and potatoes to run on, and I don't have much notes. Believe me, I do not have much notes at all on this one. So, anyhow, explaining what this is about, I take the Christian side of things. What we do on the show is I take a atheist type comment from off the web. I jot down whatever notes I can come up with to try and dismantle and counter, if at all possible, the atheist type comment. Sometimes we get more militant ones, and sometimes we just get normal ones. But anyhow, so yeah, and then we bring it onto the show, and that's how we do the show. So hopefully we get to 25 and 50 and 100 and so forth. Right now we're just on the road to 25, but still feels like a ways to go. But this episode we're trying to just do rather short, so not much to run on here. So all right, here we go. Ready for the comment? Who's ready? Raise your hand. First, hold up. First, we gotta check out the tie. Behemoth. Yeah. All right. So here's the comment that we have to deal with this time, this episode. Morality is subjective. Interesting. I probably can't be the best one to counter this one, but nonetheless, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a try. All right. So we got person number one and person number two. Person number one thinks it's okay to murder, let's say. Person number two thinks it's not okay to murder. Who is right? Who is what? Who, not white. Who is right and what makes them right? This person, to say that morality is subjective, is using an objective statement. I would think one would essentially have to know that a god or gods didn't exist. Thus, you would have no objective moral lawgiver with the authority as creator to do such. What arguments does this person have? I think it's a guy. What arguments does he have to conclude such a comment to be true? To conclude such to be the case. But even so, even if he did have the argument, how would one have the absolute knowledge of it being the case, of it being true, even if he had a good argument? How would he know it was true? So, anyhow, let's run through like a dozen different things here. So what this person is saying is, to me, as far as I can gather, what this person is saying is essentially A, B, C, and D is not objectively wrong, objectively right, objectively good, objectively bad, objectively evil. So to me, from my perspective, that kind of puts you kind of stuck in like neutral territory. So let's run with a dozen different things or so. Let's say child abuse, whatever kind you want to pick, often hurled at this side of the fence, just because we would dare to teach different, a different viewpoint, which the militant, well, not to deal with another comment, but to deal with, for a militant atheist to even say that, just implies that they are bonkers, very, very religious, to oppose other belief systems, the parents of such, to teach their kids. So that's a rather irony part of it. Atheists, militant ones, claiming they're not religious, but yet they're completely obsessed, most obsessed on the planet with religion. It's bonkers. So anyhow, let's run with child abuse. So what this person is saying, essentially, is child abuse is not objectively wrong, not objectively right, good, bad, or evil. So he's stuck in kind of neutral territory, at least from my understanding. He can claim it to be good or bad or wrong or evil or whatever the case, but it's not necessarily the case. It's just subjective, arbitrary. Who cares what he thinks? Theft. Now, I'm pretty sure this person wants to live around folks who hold that theft is wrong and child abuse wrong. I'm pretty sure he would not want children and to live around others that would not find those sorts of things to be not wrong. So with theft, he would also have to stick to it not being objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil, and he's stuck in kind of neutral territory. How about murder? I'm pretty sure he would not want to live around a bunch of folks who thought murder was not wrong. So, kind of interesting. A lot of different types of these things. Murder, for example, a good example. I'm pretty sure we got laws against such. Pretty sure we have laws against such. And why would that be the case if we're just, stardust, chemicals, animals? Who cares? Who would care? Who would care? What value? Why would there need to be any law against such? It seems to be the case that it's based on Christian type principles. Thou shalt not murder. So that's what I garner from it. So this person would have to go with not objectively wrong to murder, not right to murder, not good, not bad, not evil. You're just kind of stuck in neutral territory. Whatever you think of it, rather than what it actually is, based upon God. So, and murder, totally wrong. One of the 10 Commandments, based on God not being a murderer. And if you want to throw in the flood type thing, well, where I missed the mark on one of those type videos is, people would like God to be what they want him to be rather than what he is. And thus you kind of if you take that route, you create a false god, an idol. So God is not just good, the standard of good. He is also the judge and just and all that. So that explains the flood. His patience ran out there. That's just with the past judgment. There's coming judgment by fire. The world will be melted away. Then we get a whatchamacallit, not recreation, but restoration. Things will be restored pre-fall. But anyhow, continuing on. So he's kind of stuck on neutral territory with murder. How about rape? Rape, not objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil. Kind of stuck in neutral territory. You know, what if people, who would care what some chemicals did to other chemicals? And with murder, if people are just animals, then what's wrong with getting rid of animals? What would be the value of human life? We see that reflected perfectly today with abortion, aka murder of children. Not only children, but defenseless children. So, and that's going to get worse, I think. So rape, not objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil, kind of stuck in neutral territory. How about homosexuality? I'm not going to use the word gay because that meant something else, as far as I'm aware, decades ago. So we're going to just use the homosexuality term. So that would not be objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil. So this person is kind of stuck in neutral territory. I find he can claim A, B, C, and D, whatever he wants, but it does not make it the case. So how about pedophiles? Are they not objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil? Once again, kind of stuck in neutral territory. If morality is subjective, then how can you say pedophiles are wrong, bad, and evil? Likewise, if homosexuality is linked or claimed to be linked by some sort of chemical or this and that, well, then you would have to run that through the entire laundry list. Pedophiles, they would likewise be affected and bound by the chemicals. So how could you say that pedophiles affected by the chemicals in them were wrong, bad, and evil? So once again, stuck in neutral territory. What about incest? Well, that too gets kind of gets made fun of with the Bible, but it's a modern term and concept. No problem back the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, having offspring, and them, there's no other option. The offspring have no other option but to choose their peers, their siblings. And then once it got beyond that, then there's a little bit more option. But it wasn't bad or wrong until God declared it wrong when it started causing genetic issues, which has further deteriorated since. So it might be a little weird, but still nonetheless, if even on the basis of atheism, the fallback of evolution by default in terms of knowledge claims, that would be the belief all life related. So it would still be just distant incest, So it's kind of one-sided to make fun of it. Even whoever you marry is on both sides. It would still be your relative, both sides of the fence. The Christian side would be less distant. Obviously, same kind of creature, mankind, all from Adam and Eve, but atheism, with the evolution backing, it would just be more distant relative sorts, I would imagine. But so incest, not objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil, can't call it out. So kind of neutral territory there for this person, I think. Slavery, often, we just dealt with that too. Often the Bible gets attacked for that, but the Bible is a hammer, or not a hammer, an anvil, often talked about as an anvil. And I would word it that people beat dead horses up against it. You're not going to do anything against the anvil. So slavery. People whine and complain and attack the Bible over slavery when they don't hold themselves that slavery is objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil, la la la. So they're stuck in neutral territory. They can't call it out, and yet they call it out. So they're presupposing Christianity, that things are objectively wrong. How about lust? Lust. We often take that out of context. Obviously, God meant for males to be attracted to females. So a lot of that's good, but it can be taken out of context and become bad, which would be the lusty part of it. Kind of coveting and that sort, and all the rest. But so this person cannot say lust is objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil, just subjectively. So transgenderism. How about pumping kids full of this and that to mess with them for life? Or even an adult. This person cannot say that it's objectively wrong, transgenderism, or right, or good, or bad, or evil. They can't say it's objectively that way. They can only say subjectively good, which they probably would. Which, that sort of a thing, it's probably one part in a gigantic plan to difficult to explain, but let's just go with the simple part of it, which would be part of the depopulation agenda. That's what that would be part of. And it is what's going on. It's being pushed 10 tons. And it's the prequel to transhumanism, which may be part of Revelation. But transgenderism, it's all about depopulation. If you can get enough people to do such through the education system and teachers, public education, if you can get such, then nobody can know who's what. With Christianity, God creating male and female, it's all very simple and obvious. Male, female, everything works. Transgenderism, not good, not good, not good, bad and evil to get kids into that. Disgusting, disgustingly evil. But yeah, it's about depopulation. If you cannot identify, if you make up infinite genders and you get people, as many people as possible into it, well then the birth rate is going to plummet. It's obvious, and that's the goal there. And transgenderism is the prequel to transhumanism. So transgenderism has to become normalized in order for the red carpet to be rolled out for transhumanism, which may take part in Revelation. So we are close. Close. So this person cannot say transgenderism is objectively right, wrong, good, bad, evil. You can't call out the evil. Polygamy. This person cannot say it's objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil. He's stuck in neutral territory. Obviously, not good. Not good. And people usually point fun at Solomon. Solomon was the smartest, and yet somehow he had boatloads of wives and female interests, let's say. Obviously, that probably would have been the biggest mess on the planet. God had Adam and Eve, one male, one female. That's how it works. If you want to double dip, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Two females. I once heard, I wish I could find it, and amazingly we are taking way longer on this than I ever intended. Wow, I am impressed. We have been able to make like every episode 30 minutes. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievably amazing. But anyhow, on this polygamy topic, I heard about one time, I don't think I have the article, but it would be interesting to have the source, but there was something like, one time I heard about, there was like an all-female company or factory or something along those lines. And boy, oh boy, were people amused because of the implications. I wouldn't want to work there. Imagine the cat fighting, holy heck. So yeah, likewise, you would not want to be married to multiple chicks. God meant it for 1-to-1 ratio. One man laying down his life to provide for the female and protect her. Obviously, if one dies off, then it's perfectly fine to remarry. But anyhow, so this person could not say polygamy is objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil, only subjectively. So they can't say it is the case that it's wrong, right, good, bad, evil, la-di-da-di-da. And besides, what would be their standard anyway? Just themselves, their own preference, whatever they want to believe, or whatever they have heard through their sources that the powers that be want them to believe. How about, on some basis, nudity, or nudists, rather. On some basis, nudity not wrong, but on other basis, obviously, nudity wrong. There was this and that about Canada and children getting exposed to certain things. That is so not good. That is very bad and evil. Not good. Not good for them to be little kids, innocent kids, to be exposed to sexual type things. Not good. Not good. not good. So this person who says morality is subjective, so if it's subjective, they can't say nudity is wrong, right, good, bad, evil. They're kind of stuck in neutral territory where it's not the case that it's pretty much any of them. They're kind of, in a sense, all correct if it's all subjective, and that's dead wrong as well. How about adultery? Obviously, not good. Not good, wrong, evil, bad. That one of the Ten Commandments as well. And I think that one's based on God being faithful. God said he would not do a global flood again. And however many years later, 4,000 or however many years later, most of biblical history anyway, what we would have as history resides as true. Whatever percent, let's just say 66%, 2/3, God's still faithful. So that verse is still accurate. Still accurate. There's been local floods, and by the way, the people who say local flood, no, it was a global flood. Clear as night is day, which I always accidentally botch that saying. Clear as night and day. I always said night is day, which is kind of funny, but it's ultimately a botch. So whatever the case. All right. So adultery. This person cannot say it's objectively wrong, right, good, bad, evil, la-di-da-di-da, whatever the case. So, yeah. Solomon had, back to Solomon, he had like hundreds of wives and hundreds of, what was it, like foreign concubines or something. So just, he was the smartest yet on the basis of female interest, not very smart. And I think a lot of them were foreign, who kind of influenced his hand towards idols. So that was not good. Not good. But yeah, just silly to modify marriage. Not good. Two females, not good. Are you kidding me? It's common sense what is going to happen. God had it 1-to-1 ratio. I'll take his advice, because I'm pretty sure cat fighting constantly would not be a good thing. We read what happened with was it Abraham? He couldn't have a child with Sarah, so despite God promising that he would, he had one with another, due to her agreeing to it, the wife, and then that brought about conflict. Of course there's going to be 10 tons of conflict. That's just dumb. Not good. So God intended you commit to one chick, laying down one's life as Jesus did for the church. It's a parallel. So, and the Bible also says, what is it? There's no greater act than this, that one lay down his life for a friend. That's what Jesus did for all of us, so that we could partake the free gift of salvation through grace and faith on Jesus alone. He said he is the way, the truth, and the life. So therefore, truth presupposes God. Moral absolutes, you need an absolute purpose, you need God. Existence and nature presupposes God. Absolute knowledge presupposes God. And to end off here, we made it to the 30-minute mark. I cannot believe it. Wow, I am very impressed. That is amazing. But because we've taken so long on this one and the last one, I might have to record more later. We'll see. I don't like doing too much at once, but anyhow. With you, the viewer, probably being an atheist, I got a question at the end here. Are you a materialist? Are you a naturalist of sorts? Is atheism true? And if you are a materialist or naturalist, is truth matter? Is truth matter? Or is it immaterial? Something to think about. I think. So, anyhow, that does it. I honestly only expected to be like 2, 3, 4 minutes with this. And somehow we found a way to make every episode over like 30 minutes. Bonkers. Well, maybe not the ones we did before when it was renamed. But I think Answering Atheism is a very good show title, show name. So, anyhow, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more Answering Atheism. Next time will be episode 22. Might be another time, though. We'll see. So, anyhow, I will see you up ahead. As always, take her cool.